Hi guys, it's Amanda. It's a bit odd actually. I've tried to make this video a couple of times and I was just in full flow and I felt it was going really well, and I was talking about endings of particular chapters and the video cut off. The screen just went dark. And because I'm recording this on an iPad, which I've never done before, I thought, oh God, is there a time limit on how long you can record a video for on an iPad? So I've just looked it up and no, it should be able to store about 3 hours of video. So, and I've done about 6 minutes. So, I think that must be energetic. I'll have to go back to what I was talking about. I was talking about, so I've got to show you a photograph now. It's all going on, guys. It's all going on. Backtrack a bit, Amanda. I'm going to show you a photograph so you can understand what I'm trying to say to you. Right, this has just come in. I'm looking at this for the first time. Oh, it's my dog. She's just, oh, bless her heart. Look, she had her operation today to be sterilised. Oh, sorry. That's my daughter's game. Go this way. Oh, look at Belly. She's got those stupid plastic cones on her face. Oh, darling. Send her some healing, those of you that are animal healers. Oh, I was actually talking about her and, oh, bless her little heart. She's trying to teach us something here, guys, though, because actually what I was saying, let me backtrack, breathe, Amanda, was that this month we've got all of these cards. I've pulled 7 cards already. And of the 7 cards that I've pulled, 1 is the same as the last video that I did for you a few days ago. And it's this card. It's the card of the world. Regeneration. And what I was just explaining in this other video that's just blacked out is that this card, the world, it is the final stage. It's the final chapter of the book that you've been on in terms of your life. Now that might apply to a job, a relationship, a way of being, a mindset. But it feels more physical, to be honest, than mindset to me. I mean, there is mindset coming in as well. I'm feeling that, you know, wanting to make changes with regard to maybe the way I behave and certain patterns that I have going on within myself. But I'm also seeing that it's just this huge physical signs everywhere of people who are at the last chapter of a particular phase of their life. And Bella, bless her darling little heart, she's just an example of that. You know, she's 2. So up to the age of 2, she's been a puppy dog. She's been mad as a box of frogs. You know, she is just so lively and full of beans the whole time. And she had to go in today because we don't want puppies. We don't want to breed from her. We don't want puppies, and so it had to be done. But that's it now. You know, it's done. That potential within her to be able to be a mother is not there anymore. So we're going to love her to pieces, and hopefully we're going to have her for a long time, and she's going to be a happy dog, which is what she is now. But you know, she's expressing what I'm trying to say to you all. In my own life, my two girls, one is starting a new college on Friday, the other one is about to change school, and not just change school, go from traditional education to Steiner. Huge, big changes. I said in my last video, I'm hearing from so many of you that there are big things happening, but for a lot of people, we are just having to play out and properly finish off that last chapter before the new beginning comes in. That's this card, the world. And again, my youngest daughter's a perfect example of that today. Even though there is this potential new school that she's probably going to be going to, I'm 99% sure she's going to be going to the Steiner. She at age 12, knew this, that the chapter hadn't properly finished. So she's taken herself back to her old school today, actually more than anything to realise she really hates it. But that's important. You have to finish the chapter that you're on before you move to the new. I can't express enough how strongly I feel that message. And what Metatron is saying, and I was like shaking my fist at him a little bit just now, when the message came through, laughing as well through gritted teeth, is that he's saying for some people, including me, which is why I'm saying it through gritted teeth, the end chapter is quite long. It's not just a couple of pages. You know, this chapter we might have been reading and on for quite a while. And it's like, when is this book going to end? When is this particular stage of life going to end? It'll end in divine timing, okay? But make no mistake about it, it will end. You are doing the final lap, is what he's saying, okay? The final lap of the pool. They don't call it laps, what do they call it? Lengths. Final length of the pool. He was also saying to me that some of us have cheated. He's not telling anybody off, and I'm one of the ones that have cheated as well. What he means by that is that imagine that you've been, well, you don't have to imagine it, it's your life. You have been at a particular phase of your life doing maybe the same old job, maybe in a relationship that you know is not going anywhere, maybe you're at some sort of training school, university, you know, whatever it is, and you know that you've got to move on to something else. And what you've actually done is you've peaked and you've looked at how it ends. Now, you might say to us, well, how do you do that? Well, you do that because our higher self and our intuition have told a lot of us how it ends. It's just that it hasn't yet finally materialised, okay? So it is literally like, you know, I'm terrible at this. I'm talking now about a physical book. Get a physical book and I'm into it, you know, and all the stories and that. And then it's like, I've just got to have a peek at the final page and see how it all ends. And then you've ruined it, actually. Because it's much better to have trust and faith and just go through your life without peeking to the end of the story. But it doesn't matter. Even if you know how it ends, even if you know what the new future is, you've still got to go through all of the pages that you're on of whatever this is referring to in your life. Okay? So that was the first message that came through. Let's see what else we've got here. I'm just going to spray the jade around me because it's the one spray that I've got in my handbag for travelling tomorrow. It's really good as a bug buster, okay? You know, you get onto public transport or planes or even places like concerts, anywhere where there's a lot of people, offices, schools, you pick up other people's germs and you know, you're breathing in other people's air. This is really good. It just helps stimulate your thymus and just keeps everything ticking over nicely. I'm just going to breathe that one in, wearing the colour as well. I'll tell you what the other cards are then that I've got out. I've got the card of regeneration, as you know. The first card that came out was the card of generosity. Okay, the card of generosity. Then we've got the card of drama. Then we've got sensitivity, passion, abundance, and change. Well, change and regeneration go together, don't they? Hammering home this message now. It's come up in both videos. What's that song? Or where does a change is going to come? Where does that come from? Is it a song? Tell me below. A change is going to come. I'm hearing that. A change is going to come politically, collectively, but a change is also coming in your personal lives. What I'm struck by here, we'll get to the drama card because that's a separate message, but look at this, we've got 3 queens. Do you remember last time, didn't we have 3 male energies? We did, didn't we? Let me just look it up because I took a photograph of that last reading that I did for you because I said I wanted to refer back to it because it's the same deck that I'm using. We didn't have 3 kings. What we basically had was we had the High Priest, the King of the Ocean and the Magician. They were all masculine energies, 3 masculine energies. Here we've got 3 female energies. I like that. I love that because it just feels very balancing. And I feel as though these 2 videos need to be watched together, okay? So here we've got the women, okay? It's girl power. It's the divine feminine arising. It's Gaia also doing her stuff, birthing. There are a lot of earth changes going on at the moment, aren't there? And I know in particular Japan, that typhoon that hit recently, last 24 hours, 48 hours, that's really devastating damage over there. Sending light to anybody out in Japan. I know I do have people in Japan that watch me, but you know, there are other places that are going to be experiencing difficult times with regard to earth changes as well. So Gaia, yes, Gaia as the Supreme Mother, she is also changing, okay? And she is also regenerating, okay? So that is going on there. But really, this is more for us. 3 women. I hope my male watchers haven't got 3 women on the go. I think more this is... Okay. 3 aspects of femininity is what I'm hearing. I sort of wanted to say that in my last video about those 3 masculine cards and didn't. I held off for some reason. Let me get the cards out. I wanted to say about the Magician. Let me just get them. I wanted to say that they represented 3 aspects of masculinity. And here, I think we've got 3 aspects of femininity. Just find the cards. King of the... Come on. Where are you? Bottom of the deck, probably. King of Swords. No, it wasn't King of Swords. King of the Ocean, wasn't it? Oh, High Priest. Yeah, here we go. Right. Let's put these out. So we've got 3 aspects of masculinity. 3 aspects of femininity. Okay, see those? So the masculine energy at the moment is talking to us about order, the need for order, structure, discipline even. The next one, the next masculine energy is talking about wisdom, the High Priest. The third masculine energy is talking about manifestation. I was on the coach coming here and I was thinking about what I'm going to be teaching over the coming couple of weeks, particularly about the colour course, and I was thinking about the colour red, and I was thinking about motivation and how important motivation is at this moment in time. If you're not motivated, you're not going to manifest anything, actually. So these are the 3 masculine qualities: manifestation, motivation, and then we've got wisdom. I know wisdom isn't just a masculine energy, just bear with me. And we've also got order. And then the 3 qualities that are coming out with the women are these: sensitivity, passion, and abundance. Put these 6 together and it feels as though you've got all of the pieces of the jigsaw for September. So we need to honour our spirituality, which I'm sure you probably do if you're watching me, because by nature you're interested in spiritual matters if you're watching a channel like this. But it's a deep honouring is what I'm hearing. It's a deep honouring of our spirituality, and it's a deep honouring of our practices as well. There is something within this Virgo new moon on the 9th. Don't know many Virgos actually, but what I understand about Virgos is one of the things they're very good at is they're quite hard workers and they're diligent and they're quite thorough. And there's this thing about the new moon in Virgo, feels as though it's about, and it falls perfectly in September, the month when the schools go back, everything gets back to normal, we've had our holidays. It's like time to get back to it. It's that time to get back to it, time to knuckle down and get back to some work, or if it's not work, back to a structured routine. So that fits also with the card of order, but it isn't just about the physical world, it's about the spiritual world as well. the need for structures and order this September. The women here, the female energies, are talking, let's just pick them off one by one. Abundance, well, yes. And coupled with the card 8 of Cups, which is 8 is linked into abundance as well. So we've got a double message about abundance. Expand your mindset so that you believe it's possible. Again, linking back to what I said a few days ago. Believe in the wish. Believe in it. If you don't believe in it, it's never going to manifest. So you need to have an abundant mindset this month. We're moving away from a mindset of lack to a mindset of abundance. Passion. What do we want to say about passion? I'm going to pull another card on that, actually. Why is that one coming through? Do you know, actually I don't want to pull another card, because actually what I'm feeling here is what Metatron's saying to me is it's almost as though there's that really horrible expression about, was it Jerry Hall that said it? Something to do with being you can be a good mum and whatever, and then you've got to be a whore in the bedroom. Hate all that. That whole energy of it's like Madonna or whore. Okay? And these three, sensitivity, I'm feeling is the card of, I wanted to put that with the mothering energy. Hopefully if you're a good mother, you're sensitive to your child's needs. You're also sensitive to your own needs, because if you're not sensitive to your own needs, you aren't a good mum, because you're exhausted and depleted the whole time. But the card of sensitivity, I feel as I want to put that with the mothering role with women, okay? The card of passion, obviously, I'm wanting to link that. Well, not obviously, because you can be passionate about other things other than sex, but I am wanting to put it with sex, okay, for this month. And don't forget the 9th month, number 9, is also linked into the planet Mars. And Mars is, and I'm talking numerologically here, okay? Numerologically, it's linked into the planet Mars. And Mars is passionate, it's fiery. So, again, it's this thing about, this is the lover. It's not the whore, it's the lover, okay? It's the woman who knows her worth as a lover. As a sensitive lover as well, maybe, but a passionate lover. Okay, so that's the other role of women. And then this one, abundance, I want to put this with the working woman. Okay, whatever you're doing, however you're earning money, however you are supporting your family, it doesn't actually have to just be about money, but it is. I'm going to actually backtrack that, because it doesn't feel like it's the mum. It's not the homemaker. This is more like the homemaker card. This is more like I'm seeing this is the woman in the suit, okay? This is the woman who goes out and shakes things up and gets things done. Funny actually that I mentioned these two things, because I had to apply for, very last minute, I had to apply for one of these visas to get into Canada. Hadn't even realised I needed it until today. Anyway, I was advised to put homemaker on it, because it's easier. You don't get asked so many questions. I was about to put spiritual teacher or something, and then I thought, oh, hold on, what shall I put? What do I describe myself as? Well, yeah, I am a homemaker. I'm also a lot more than a homemaker, as are most of the women watching this. And also men watching this. Hopefully you can relate to this in terms of the women in your life as well. There's something coming through, I want to say, about the role of women generally, and how we view women and how we view ourselves. Do we just which one of these do you identify with? As the sexy lover, as the mum, as the worker, The thing is, you're actually all three, or you have the potential to be all three. You don't have to be all three. You don't have to be a mum. You don't have to be a lover. You don't have to be a worker. These are just latent potentials that are within you. Go back to Bella this morning. Let's take it back down to that level now. you know, she had the ability to be a mum. She doesn't anymore, but she did have. But she'll still always be female. She'll still always have had that ability at some point. I don't want to get too pedantic about this, but, you know, I'm just feeling that these represent 3 different states of femininity. And these 3 are linked into qualities for men as well. Right, let's move on. Let's see what other cards we had here. Right, well, the first card we got out was generosity. And I want to put that with drama. I think in this day of social media, we're almost losing, we have the potential to lose the ability to think before we post, breathe before we say anything, and also give people a second, you know, whatever the expression is. Drama. We get pulled into dramas, particularly on social media. He says this, she says that, blah, 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 blah. But also in life. What's that expression? Not my circus, not my monkeys. I like that. Why was it getting involved in other people's dramas? To be honest, we need to get out of our own dramas. We don't need to attract anybody else's. These feel like polar opposite energies in a lot of ways. But I also feel it's a message here to sometimes be generous to other people, to give people a second chance. That's what I was trying to say, okay? If you hear maybe, I feel in September you might maybe hear something negative about somebody, some gossip, whether it's somebody in the public eye or whether it's somebody you're linked to in your private life. And it's so easy in social media to go down that rabbit hole. And you just, I've seen it happen. It's happened to me as well. You know, people say things about me and then, you know, they believe it and that's it. End of friendship. And it's like, hold on a minute. Do I get a say in it? I actually had an opinion on this. It wasn't like that. So, generosity of spirit, generosity of heart is needed to combat all of this drama around us. There's something else though with regard to drama. Let me just pick up on it. And this is USA as well. The drama. I'm trying to give the guidance that I feel is the right guidance that's going to give you peace of mind if you're in the States and you're going through it all. Because it's almost like it's above politics now, this. It's above, no, it's not above politics, it's above individuals. There is a circus. There is so much drama. To be honest, I lost track of what was going on in the States politically a couple of months ago. I just lost interest in it. I can't keep up with it. And I'm not really that interested anymore. And I'm somebody that is interested in world affairs, but it's become so overblown. I can't keep up with the characters that come in and then come out. Is that heightening my vibration to try to keep up to grips with all of it? No, it's lowering my vibration actually. I'm getting sucked into all the gossip. What's going to happen next? Detach from your own dramas, detach from the dramas around you. I think if we can do that in our own individual lives, we'll start to see it in the collective. Let me just pull another couple of cards on this drama. Has it Costa's just been taken over by Coca-Cola? I think so. Drama, Metatron, what else is there to say on drama? I know there's another message. Feel it bubbling up. Drama. He's going back to what I was saying about that we're at the last chapter of our book, okay, in our life. Not a whole life, this particular chapter of our life. We're at the last chapter. Now, if you think about a book or a film, usually it builds up to a big climax, doesn't it? And it's like, I think in James Bond, I'm thinking that James Bond with Daniel Craig, can't remember which one it was it Skyfall? And they all basically, the end scene, they're all at some remote hideaway, and it's all very dramatic. Great film, I loved it. But yeah, it's all edge of the seat stuff. Do you want that for your own life? Okay? Do you really want that for your own life? Does it have to be that way? Does it truly, if you think about maybe what you know needs to end, does it have to be that way? Do you have to leave the job in a great big, you know, do you have to leave the relationship and it be, Certainly for me, thinking about job now, I had my first job, which I loved, marketing job. I stayed with them quite a long time actually, but I worked ridiculous hours because it was marketing and advertising, and you do work ridiculous hours. And you know, you get home every night very late, and I had a commute on top of it. I was absolutely burnt out. And I left in the biggest hissy fit imaginable, you know? And fortunately, my boss had the good grace to, you know, forgive me that. And a couple of years later offered me self-employment work as well. So I didn't do too badly. But, you know, I should have engineered it differently. It didn't need to be the drama that it was. Those don't feel linked into drama. It feels like a personal message for me. Sorry, I don't want to show those. You're all going to say, what was the message now? What was the message? It's because it's a card linked to travel and there's something else with it. So that's I'm viewing that for me. Where was I? Yeah, don't. The last chapter doesn't have to be the big showstopper. It can be dignified. It can be done with grace. That's the spiritual path. I'm sure I said last year, because this has been going on a long time for many of us, that we were at a stage where karma was completing. Do you remember me saying that? And I remember saying to you that I felt it was really important that as we completed karma, we did it in a very dignified way. We did it in a way where we would look back and be proud of our actions, even if we had to make difficult choices, that we would have acted in a way that we could look back on, that we know we did our best, rather than it all becoming unpleasant and all the rest of it. Okay, I want some more cards on drama, Metatron, please. 2 cards on drama. Any other message on drama? The Fool, creativity. These 2 cards came up in the first reading, didn't they? Those of you that have watched all my videos, these cards came up before creativity and the new beginning. I don't think Metatron is saying anything other than what I haven't already said, that the last chapter needs to be approached with dignity and not with drama. Okay, we don't want any of this. We don't want people gossiping behind other people's back. And also, can I just say this? Sorry, I'm sounding stern. I don't mean to be. It's just I'm passionate about this. What basically is happening is that many situations are resolving themselves. Things are ending. And you are going to be hearing, if you haven't already, I'd be surprised, to be honest, if you haven't already heard, of news of people within your circle, whether it is close friends, relatives, or just maybe it's people on social media. And you might hear something like, so-and-so has done this, or they've decided to do this. We don't all need to have an opinion on it. We don't all need to start gossiping about it. What we actually have to do is we have to hold the highest vision for that person and say, good luck. Because ultimately, the people that are in your circle, well, A, they should only be in your circle if you really want them in your circle, with the exception of maybe close family. You know, the friends and the acquaintances and the people on social media that you're watching, you are choosing to have them in your circle. And so they are a mirror of your energy as well. And so if, for example, they do something that you don't maybe agree with, maybe somebody, I don't know, leaves a partner, Or another example I've got going on in friends that I've got, people who've just left very, very lucrative careers and they're starting up on their own. And wouldn't it be easy to be a bit gossipy about that and like, oh, you know, why are they doing that? And they've left all that behind? Oh, I don't know, you know, I don't know if that's going to work. That is so 3D lower thinking. That's this. Whereas actually, go back to our masculine energies, what the high priest would do, the masculine quality there, would say, yeah, I understand why you did that. I can see absolutely why you did that. And I know it's probably a very, very difficult situation. And it was probably a very difficult thing to decide to do. It wasn't an easy choice. And I support you and I honour your choice. The feminine quality, sensitivity, would come forward and say, I can see it's difficult for you. How can I help you? Rather than, oh, have you heard? We're all guilty of it. All of us are guilty of it. We've all done it before. Let's hold our hands up. It's time to stop all that nonsense. And then I think when we stop all that nonsense, we're going to start to see in the world figures come in who are embodying qualities which are much more steady and magnificent. So that's drama. We had the card of creativity. I talked about that on my last video, creative approach. Okay, I'm going to put those cards to one side. We've done 31 minutes. I'm just going to pull another couple of cards from a totally different deck because it's actually quite interesting when you use two tarot decks. You might get similar cards coming through. It might be a totally different message. So let's just take a moment to breathe. What time is it here? 20 to 6 here. Notice where your mind goes. Going back to that card of drama and gossip, and notice where your mind goes. And each time you go to a lower vibrational, energetic state, pull yourself back to your heart and love. What would my higher self, and your higher self is the voice of love, what would my higher self say? Your higher self would never be the one who spreads something malicious or speaks in a negative way. Your higher self is above all that. We're being asked to be above all that. Okay, Metatron's saying September's a month for many of us to grow up a bit. Tough love, that's what he does sometimes. Okay, yeah, two cards have just flown out of the deck. As I was just saying that, time to grow up a little bit. Look what we've got, the Chariot, moving on from this. I want to put them the other way around. Moving away from this energy of, I mean, this is victimhood as well. This is the way I'm interpreting this card. This is victimhood, poor me, you know, it's all of that. The Chariot, just get on with it. Not just get on with it and you're on your own. Get on with it because look at these amazing energies that are pulling you. Okay? You're not asked to do it alone. None of us are asked to do it alone. The Chariot. Yeah, that's a good card to get, isn't it? The Chariot. And the sad thing is that this guy here, in you know, victimhood, in just lower state consciousness, this reminds me of one of the cards from my forthcoming Metatron Oracle deck called Detach from Drama, funnily enough, back to the drama card. And in the painting that Jayne's done for my deck of cards, the Detach from Drama card shows somebody who is basically sitting down looking at the ground, and they're in a beautiful field of flowers. And they don't appreciate any of it because they're so self-absorbed in their own pain and their own stuff. Well, this guy's not in a field of flowers, but he might as well be. I mean, he's in a prison cell, so you could say, oh, well, yes, he's bound to feel like that because he's sitting here. You can have that mindset outside of the walls. And actually, to be perfectly honest, if the chariot was galloping by this guy's window now and with an offer to get him out of there, he'd miss it. He'd miss the help. I'm not saying it's easy either to get ourselves out of these states of low vibration. I've been there myself. I know it's not. But I do know that the help that is now available to us is bigger than it's ever been. Bigger than it's ever been. There's so much help and support for us from the spiritual world. They're willing us on to get on this chariot and to succeed. They'll stay with us there. Absolutely, they'll stay with us there. But they'd much prefer to be with us there. Two more cards. The Eight of Pentacles show there's a bit of work to do. Well, I think we all know that. There's a bit of hard work to be done in September. Anything that is worth having requires a bit of work. It's the truth, isn't it? I think so. Anything that's worth having requires a bit of work. And the Emperor, King of Pentacles on the bottom, but we've got the Emperor. Yeah. We're back to structure. The need for structure. There's some work to do, but I'm feeling it's more there's work to do on ourselves. You know this stuff. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. You know there's work to be done. You know that the winds of change are here. And you know that you can't actually stay like this any longer. Because this is a month of change, transformation, moving on. Would somebody, well, not somebody, would an energy come in to help this person even if they stayed like that? Yes, I think so. Should we just pull a couple of cards on that? So let's just assume we want to stay like that. Now, nobody wants to stay like that, but it's more that they are so bound by a lower energy that they can't see the wood for the trees. They've actually forgotten that this chariot is even possible. They've certainly forgotten in magic. They've forgotten back to that card of back to that masculine card, the magician. Do you remember me saying they've forgotten that they have all of that? They've forgotten they have all those talents and skills and abilities. They've forgotten all of it. But just assuming, let's just pull a few more on this for people that are really identifying with that. Because the air is stale in that cell. The air is stale. The person sitting there is getting cramp because they've been in that position for a long time. I'm feeling for many people it's self-enforced. Isolation. Fear of the unknown. Fear of what's outside the cell walls. The card just flown out. Okay, the card that flew out and has come up upside down is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is the offer of help, sorry, the offer of love, the offer of help. So that's exactly what this person's done. They have blocked the offer of help. Because Spirit, Metatron, the Archangels, they will always offer you a hand. Literally, as I'm offering you my hand now, They will offer you a hand. This guy can't even see anybody offering a hand up because they're so self-absorbed in their own stuff and their own pain. They've blocked this. The Page of Cups upside down is never a good thing to see because it's a thwarted offer. Spirit haven't thwarted it. It's like, for some, they've blinded themselves to the possibility that help is even there. So, if you're resonating with that, take off the blindfold. Start to open up and believe that the universe is there to bring you. Look at that, the Two of Cups. Love. Doesn't mean necessarily kissy kissy romantic love. It's love. It's unconditional love. It's spirit basically offering you unconditional love. I also want to say, with all this masculine and feminine energy, those 3 masculine cards, the 3 feminine cards, it also feels as though it's you remembering your own feminine and masculine qualities within yourself. And then, of course, when you are more balanced within yourself, you are more able to take on the world because you're complete. You are in union with yourself. You're not walking around with 50% of you missing. You've got your masculine and your feminine strongly back. And you're probably saying, yeah, but how do I do that? Step by step is how you do that. And you also do that by accepting the hand, the offer of help. And I think what I'm hearing is a lot of the time people are blocking the offer of help because it doesn't look like you expect it to look. Maybe you expect it to come in a particular way from a particular person. And I think a lot of the signs are being missed. Spirit works in strange ways sometimes, so be very open to the unexpected help. The Six of Cups just came up. So there is a feeling here of looking back, nostalgia to happier times. I think this ties in to living in the past. Living in the past rather than living in the future. So again, part of the healing for this group of people that resonate with this is to not forget the past. You can't forget your past. Your past is who you are. But to embrace your future. The magenta ray would be a wonderful one there to help you. Because magenta is just an energy that brings you straight back into the present moment. Straight back into the present moment. And it's the bridge from the old to the new. One more card. And I'm going to try and get this uploaded. And go and have something to eat. Okay, Metatron, one final card, please. The Ten of Swords. That looks bad, but it's not, because it's tied into these people here. There has to be an ending to this. Okay? This cannot carry on. The Ten of Swords is an ending. It's a definite ending. It's the ending of this old way. This is leading you nowhere. So let me pull one more card to go with that. I sort of want to say I feel it's not going to be allowed to carry on because this is linked into waves of consciousness that's coming into the planet. Seven of Pentacles, yeah, harvest time. Yeah, harvest. And the Teacher again, Hierophant. So that's come out twice. This is almost like, well, it is a lower dimensional way, okay? I'm not judging anybody that's in it. I've been there myself. I can take myself back there quite easily if I let myself. but I don't choose to sit in that energy. Who would want to sit in that? But yet, if we believe that the planet is ascending and evolving, which it is, I think that over time, these very stuck states, if you've signed up for a different ride, you're going to be pushed out of this. It's going to end. And when I say you've signed up for a different ride, what I mean by that is the fifth dimensional ride. And of course that links into karma, karmic situations you might be in that might be blocking that. There are different timelines on our planet at the moment, as mad as that sounds. There's different timelines on our planet. And if you're meant to be on a different timeline to this state, this lower energetic state, Spirit is going to come in to help you manifest it. I don't know how. It's going to be different for everybody. I'm not saying it's instantaneous. I'm not saying it plays out for everybody on the 9th of September or anything like that. But I do feel a growing polarity between those that are choosing to stay firmly stuck in 3D and those that are on a different, and it is a higher timeline. And at the moment, if you've signed up for the 5D ride, it's like you're going to be kicked off the 3D one. This is sort of where we get into the subject of, well, what about free will versus what did I sign up for? It depends what your life path is. It depends what your mission is in this life. It depends what you're meant to be doing. Say, for example, you're meant to be the most brilliant doctor, or you're meant to write the most amazing book, or you're meant to lead a group of people, or you're meant to create something that's really going to change people's lives, but yet you're stuck in this. There comes a point where Spirit says, enough. We've seen enough of this. We're going to send in the cavalry a bit to help. Two of Swords, just opened it at that. Ending. Ending of the confusion, the moon. I'm just picking cards at random here. Enough of the looking back, the spilt cup. I haven't got enough. Yeah. I'm sort of wanting to see the sun card. I don't know where it is, but that's what I'm feeling is the natural one to then come next. Gonna bring the light back. Well, I hope that helps. There's quite a few, lots of different messages in that reading. Let's just end with a final card, shall we? No, we're not going to end with a card. We're going to end with a spray. Let's just see what we get. My jade. Strengthen your body for these times that are coming. Believe in your body. I'm hearing believe in your body. That's an interesting thing. Maybe you've got an illness or a condition and you beat yourself up about your body. Can you believe in your body again? Can you actually realise... Sorry, my husband just texted me about Bella. Lost my train of thought. This is about remembering how amazing your body is, because your body is the vehicle through which all of these changes, all of this transformation has to happen. It doesn't just float above our heads, it has to happen in our physical body. So we've got to start to look after our body a bit more. Okay, that's a whole other video. Lots of love, everybody. Next time I speak to you, I shall be in Canada. Lots of love. Bye-bye.